Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to match day 33 of Dritte Liga. It's the third tier of German football, but you'd never know it when you come here to Dresden. League leaders Dynamo Dresden are at home against Osnabrück this afternoon, who are in 15th place in the table. And the fans, as you always expect in Dresden, are in fine voice, in full voice. And of course, that famous yellow wall that the Osnabrück players will have to contend with. It is a huge stadium for this level of football, and we are expecting an exceptional game ahead of us. For the home side, Schreiber is in goal. Along the back, as we expect them to play a 4-2-3-1. Heiser on the left, Bunning, Kammerknecht and Sterner. Two defensive midfielders, Bode and Kazar. Kotter, Bauer and Meissner are behind Kutschke, the lone striker. Well, it's been quite a season already for Dynamo Dresden. They are top, but it is by no means a done deal. Arminia Bielefeld are just behind them, 4 points behind them in fact, and Saarbrücken, who last night could only manage a draw away as they were at Wehen, they are also on 56 points. So Bielefeld and Saarbrücken are breathing down the necks of Dynamo Dresden, and Energy Cottbus, had it not been for a loss streak of 2, would be right up there as well contending. They're on 55 points, so only 5 points separate the top 4 at the moment in the Dritte Liga table. The home side today, Dynamo Dresden, have the best home record in the league. They're top of the league and they have the best home record in the league as well. Osnabrück's away record is not too bad. That's them in their purple or violet shirts on your screen right now. And the players from Osnabrück, those who haven't played here before, will be, I think, pretty shocked and maybe taken aback by the kind of atmosphere that we have here at the Rudolf Harbig Stadion. It is match day 33, and the Friday night game, as I mentioned, was last night with Saarbrücken managing a 1-1 draw at Wehen. As we meet our referees for the first time, Luca Jürgensen is the middle of the pitch official, and his assistants are Fabian Porsche and Finn Cohn. 5 matches kicking off at 2 p.m. local time. This one that we're covering right now, Hansa Rostock against VeReal, Ingolstadt against Hannover 96, Essen against Erzberger Aue, and Unterhaching are hosting Stuttgart. Then, of course, we'll have a 4:30 game, which will be Alemannia Aachen against Sandhausen, and then 3 games on Sunday tomorrow. Waldhof Mannheim hosting 1860 München, Borussia Dortmund against Energy Cottbus, and Victoria Cologne in the evening game against Arminia Bielefeld, as we see how Osnabrück line up against Dresden with Jonsson in goal, 3 at the back, Kardemir, Müller and Gyamfi. Then we've got 3 defensive thinking midfielders, Koller, Amaiko and Nierhoff. Kayo and Henning play behind Müller and Kehl. An interesting formation if they line up like that. 3-3-2-2. It's not a usual formation that we see a lot. But who are we to say that anything is wrong, especially with this Dresden team who have done so well this season already. Having played 32 games, they've won 17 of them, and they've only lost 6 times. 9 draws that they will be probably a bit disappointed with, but in terms of goal difference as well, they are miles ahead of the leading pack. And we're underway. 90 minutes of football involving top of the league Dynamo Dresden. And here we go. Jonsson with the long first kick for the Osnabrück goalkeeper. And Osnabrück are looking to just everyone get that first touch of the ball, calm their nerves, and get their feel of the game. It's a beautiful spring sunshine day here in Dresden. and this marvellous Rudolf Harrig-Stadion with its super fans, with their tifos and their colours. And we can see Dresden's pressing game is already in action. 4 men forming an attacking line as Jonsson goes out to Gyamfi. And with the ball, Osnabrück will play a much less defensive game, as you'd expect. Their fans also trying to make themselves heard. Always easy for the fans at the start of the game to build an atmosphere, excuse me. It's when things get difficult or slow that the fans will really be called upon to help out their team. Osnabrück have had possession for most of the first couple of minutes, and they're going to regain it. No, they're not. In fact, they've given it away. Referee exerting some good control early in the game. It's as important for the referee to get a feel for the game as it is for the players, of course. Important for the players to understand how the referee is going to officiate over the next 90 minutes. What they can get away with, what they can't get away with. Theoretically, of course, every referee will be the same, and their imposition of the rules and the laws of the game will be the same. But referees are human, as are the rest of us, as are the players. So it's never quite 100% consistent. Long ball forward for Dresden is the first time that they've tried to create an attacking opportunity. And they win a throw in to keep possession. And that's well played by Niehoff. Ball control letting them down, and 4 yellow shirts all crowding the ball. And that was untidy but safe. Schreiber using his centre-back pairing of Bunning and Kammerknecht. And Osnabrück really pressing high. Dresden at the moment just hemmed in, but they've played that well. And if you watch much Dritte Liga football, as we see our first foul of the game, it's given against Henning. And certainly Kammerknecht felt that. There will be plenty of thinking for all the staff at Osnabrück to do today. Marco Antwerpen is their manager, and that's him on the screen now. And just before him, you saw Thomas Stamm, super successful manager already with Dresden. And he probably has a future, dare I say it, with more fabled clubs. Certainly his name will be on the lips of many chairmen, I imagine, over the summer. But at the moment, he has a great relationship with the club at Dresden and a great relationship with the players. This, of course, Dynamo Dresden is a team and a club who have been so much higher in the past. But difficulties over the last few years mean that they are down here in the 3rd tier at the moment. And as a fan base and as a club, they will feel that they deserve or should be higher. Definite, what we call in English, a big club syndrome. Dynamo Dresden is a big club. And right now, they are playing in the 3rd tier. Don't forget that there are stories like that all around the world. Internazionale in Italy, after Calciopoli, were down in the 3rd tier as well. Manchester City, would you believe, in England, were in the third tier of English football less than 20 years ago and have since won Premier League titles year after year. So there are ways back for all these clubs, of course. Dynamo Dresden are doing their very best this season to get back up into Bundesliga 2. Their long-term goal, though, without a doubt, will be to find themselves back in the Bundesliga, where they believe they belong. And they're going about it the right way this season, there's no doubt about that. 6 minutes gone here. No big scoring opportunities and no goals as the ball runs through to Jonsson once again from Kuschke this time. Dresden not pressing high up. But they're just making their presence felt. On the bench for Dresden today, Christoph Daffner, who is the top scorer in the league, and therefore, of course, the top scorer for Dresden as well, with 17 goals. Doesn't make the starting lineup today. Dresden coming forward with 2 men in the box, and that one nearly fell, didn't it? For Bauer, but not quite cleared in the end. Bauer was free in the area. But the ball just couldn't quite reach him. And Dresden are so calm on the ball. They play a very sophisticated brand of football for this level. They don't have the best defensive record in the league. It's Arminia Bielefeld who have that. But they've scored 61 and conceded 31. Throw in for Osnabrück. Koller takes it and they come away with the ball, and they're lucky to retain possession, but they do well. It's a neat little turn in the area as well, a super turn from Henning. And Osnabrück are not overawed by this atmosphere. Not at all. If anything, they've started the stronger. Coming to a stadium like this, which can be so intimidating, a lot of teams come here and try to come out really full pace and surprise their opponents. First corner of the game, and it's going to be taken by Kell from the left-hand side with an in-swinging right-footed corner. It's going to the far post, and it worked well, that corner routine, actually. And very nearly got a second ball back across the face of goal, and the penalty area was completely empty. All the players had just followed the ball. As we see Niehoff and Jonsson. Jonsson pumps the ball forward again towards the right, looking for Henning. Attacking throw in. Gyamfi is free, as is Amoako. Amoako gets the ball, but he fouls. Kayo is penalised, and we're going to have a free kick to Dresden. An intriguing first 10 minutes. Osnabrück definitely have their feet in the game, and they are not overawed at all by this atmosphere here at the Rudolf Harrig. Thomas Stamm showing there that Dresden have a lot of the methods that some of the teams much higher up the pyramid have. And of course, they are at something of an advantage, being a much bigger club, much more wealthy club than most of the rest of Dritte Liga. And the first cries of Dynamo from the crowd. Thomas Stamsman trying to give the crowd something back and something to continue to chant about. Now they have a chance. It's 4-on-4 in the area. It's 3-on-3 now with yellow shirts arriving in the 6-yard box. The ball, though, unable to find them. And so Osnabrück can come away with it again. It's out with Niehoff. Decent cross from Niehoff and an attacking throw-in. The interception was good enough as well. Can Osnabrück test the defensive mettle of this Dynamo Dresden team? They regain the ball on the edge of the area, on the edge of the box. That's a super snapshot from Amalko. Schreiber had to be on his toes, and he was. He regained possession slightly fortuitously. It was Amalko, in fact, who regained it. And that needed saving, and Schreiber did well. First shot on goal, and it's gone to the visitors. We're going to have another corner from the same side, and it's Kale again who'll take it. If Dresden thought this was going to be a walk in the park, which I'm sure they didn't, but if there was any suspicion, they certainly will know already that it's not going to be. Here comes Kjell then with another right-footed in-swinging corner. Where's this one going? Far post again. Worked well last time. Didn't work so well that time. We have some infringements in the box. The referee has seen something. And in fact, usually the goalkeeper gets a lot of protection at attacking set pieces. On this occasion, the referee says that Schreiber was outside the rules. In fact, he was being crowded by one of his own men and a purple shirt from Osnabrück as well. Not penalised, but the referee just having a word. And in fact, he was protecting the goalkeeper, as well as telling Schreiber not to try to take the law into his own hands. However, we've already seen 3 players slip over, go down. That age-old discussion about studs and cleats. Dresden looking to come forward again. Free kick, this time going the way of Dresden, and they'll be able to clear their lines. Fairly innocuous challenge. I tell you what, actually, when you see it for a second time, it looks slightly less innocuous, because the player was not looking at the ball at all. Okay, Dresden in the box. Looking for a penalty. No, they're not looking for a penalty. That was Bauer again, who's been up there in the box a few times now. But Osnabrück on the break win another corner. That was that chance for, not a chance actually, but that was Bauer nearly getting on the end of a ball. Let's see what Kiel can provide this time for Osnabrück. 3 corners from the same side in fairly quick succession. Is this going to go far post as well? Let's see. In swinging. Once again, no, there's a different routine. The Osnabrück players are lined up completely differently. A short corner this time. And that routine almost worked. Kiel is down and has been fouled, and it's going to be an attacking free kick. The referee took a long time to think about that. But the corner taker it was. And I don't think that Meissner can have much to argue about there. Let's see what we can make from this free kick. Osnabrück have obviously worked on lots of routines from dead ball situations. Kiel is over it again. So too is Koller. Koller runs over the ball. Kiel will take it right-footed. Goes for goal. And that's always going to be a very, very big ask in a crowded penalty box. You never know what's going to happen, of course. The ball can ricochet and pinball around. That one came to nothing, though. Still have possession. And that's overhit, and that will go behind for a goal kick. 17 minutes gone. Best chances have gone to Osnabrück so far, and the only shot on target has gone to them as well. But it remains 0-0. Bunning in the left back position. And we've got two balls on the pitch. One of them will go. Osnabrück have started this game very impressively indeed in the spring sunshine here in Dresden. And they've got another chance now to try and thread that ball through into a dangerous area. They don't manage to do it. And I think that was a definite yellow card offence. And the referee agrees. Out of control. And in fact, two yellow cards have been given. One, I imagine, for dissent. And Koller. Well, Müller says he got the ball. He might have done, but he was certainly not in control, which is the main thing to consider in this situation. And the other yellow card looks like it was... Let's see, actually. So Müller was got the yellow card for dissent. And the other yellow card was also given to Müller. Different Müllers, of course. Goal kick to Osnabrück. As the ball slightly overran. So confirmation there. Two yellow cards, both given to players called Müller. Osnabrück, though, can come forward again with Koller. This time comes to nothing. Now there's a chance, though, if they can just... Schreiber does well. But they certainly are dangerous, Osnabrück. "17 matches on the road Osnabrück have had. They've only won 4 of them. So an away win, something of a rarity. Having said that, they're currently on a very good run of form away from home. They've won 4 of the last 5. As we see Dresden, again, trying to get that final ball through. And a little snapshot from outside the D. And that also needed saving. So we've had 2 long shots from slightly outside the area. Both of them on target. And it's 1 apiece in terms of shots on target in this game, and still 0-0 in terms of goals, of course. That time it was Jonsson who was called into action. Diving low with an outstretched left hand. And he managed to turn that round the post for a corner as Philipp Heisse. Dresden's left back comes forward to take that corner quickly. And they have wasted that as the ball goes behind for a goal kick. Good defending from Osnabrück. They've been pretty solid so far. Both these sides have won 3 of their last 5 home or away, respectively. Dresden have won 3 of their last 5 at home. Osnabrück 3 of their last 5 away. And they're certainly 2 of the form teams. Halfway through the first half, and the crowd just starting to get a bit quieter. This is exactly what Osnabrück would have been aiming for, to quieten down that boisterous, vociferous Dresden home support. We've had goals in all 4 of the other games that kicked off at 2 o'clock today. Hansa Rostock have taken the lead at home against VfL. Ingolstadt are a goal down at home against Hannover 96. Essen lead against Erzberger Aue. And Stuttgart are 1 up away from home against Unterhaching. So ours is the only goalless game currently going on. I'd be incredibly surprised if this match finishes goalless. But let's see. Throw in, which Koller will take. And he goes back sensibly. Gyamfi. On the right touchline, waiting for the ball, Niehoff has come forward from the right back position. Choose to go long. It's far too long, in fact. The ball was aimed for Amoako. Dresden can build again from the left-hand side. A crossfield ball looking for the forward line. And again, it's intercepted by Osnabrück very, very well. And they snuff out that danger, but immediately they pass up another one. Five yellow shirts in the box, trying to meet that cross with a head. Can't be done. Heisse, though, regains and uses Kotter. That's Burda. And now from the right-hand side. At the moment, Osnabrück's defence looks impregnable. And a yellow card. This time it's gone to the home side and it's gone to Burda. 3 yellow cards already after 25 minutes. I think that was for a high foot. Although I can't be completely sure. And we remain at 0-0 here. with the purple shirts of Osnabrück again then. Losing out though, and Bauer makes another darting run into the left side of the area. And Bauer, who normally plays on the right hand side, seems to be much more on the left today. Four-point gap at the top of the table, I mentioned at the beginning of the programme, for Dresden. So no matter what happens today, they will be top of the table overnight. With Bielefeld and Cottbus playing tomorrow. As things currently stand, Hansa Rostock and Ingolstadt have done themselves no harm at all by taking the lead. And Dresden are having to be very, very patient against a very well drilled Osnabrück side. What can Heise pull out of the bag here? That's a phenomenal ball over the top if it was onside. Heise showing his long ball prowess. And Dresden keeping hold of the ball brilliantly. He was pulled back there. Surely he was pulled back. That must be a free kick. Yes, it is going to be a free kick. The referee's assistant has his flag up. And Henning in that situation, wasn't a lot he could do. He was sold the dummy and fell for it. Hook, line and sinker, as they say, by Sterner. There was nothing he could do other than pull Sterner back, which he did to give away a free kick rather than give away a potentially more dangerous chance from open play. Nonetheless, strange free kick routine, that one. And in any case, the whistle has gone. And the players look as confused as I feel about that. I'm not sure why the whistle went there. But we'll get another chance to look at what Dresden can do from this free kick. And they do exactly the same thing. The ball did find a yellow-shirted foot in Kazar. Kazar not able to turn the ball goalwards. Went over the post, over the bar, and we are, as we were, for a goal kick to Osnabrück with almost half an hour gone. Forward we come then. Dresden regaining the ball in centre field. Back with Kammerknecht. Kammerknecht using the right hand side again and winning a throw-in. Meissner is there. Oh no, Osnabrück, sorry, I beg your pardon. Regained possession, in fact. Dresden not managing to make anything stick at the moment. They've got some nice ideas and some neat touches, but it's not quite coming off for them. They're by no means being overrun or outplayed, but they need to find that final ball, as do Osnabrück. Here come the visitors again, and they will have a corner, this time from the right-hand side, as Cotter puts it out. Nierhoff up from the right-back position to win that corner. He stays up. And Kehl will come to the other side, the designated dead ball specialist. Karademir has come up as well. That's his collar. And 2 men on the edge of the box for that second ball. This one's going to go far post or near post. It's going right in the middle of the goal. And I thought that had gone goalwards. Perspective leading me a merry dance. And Dresden managed to clear it eventually. Another example, though, of how Osnabrück can really cause this Dresden side some quite serious problems. But Dresden, of course, can have caused every team in this division problems so far. Six games left in the season, including this one. Thomas Stamm, irate about the fact that that throw-in was given the way of Osnabrück, and he's just letting the referee know. Actually, it wasn't that he thought the throw had been given the wrong way, it was that he thought there should have been a foul given for an elbow on his player. But Dresden do still have possession. But they're going to have to be careful with it here at the back, which they are. And Schreiber, with his left foot, pumps the ball forward towards his attacking player. It ends up reaching him. And now there's a real possibility of a penalty, but the referee says no. And Dresden are incensed by that, as are the fans, and no doubt Thomas Stamm as well. But Osnabrück can break quickly. So Dresden need to get back in formation, and they do so pretty well. See that line of 4 with a line of 3 just in front of them. And their defensive formation is solid. Niehoff can pull it back from the byline, and it goes out for another corner. And let's see, a little mistake in defence, and it just allowed Kuczka to get through. And there was no way that was a penalty. And I think he was looking to go down because he wasn't running towards goal. He was having to run slightly away from goal. And the slightest contact, down he came. Kale once again with his 5th corner already of the afternoon. Same setup in the box as last time for Osnabrück. This one goes very centre. Scissor kick attempted and not executed very well. That was by Amayoko in the centre of the penalty area. But they've worked hard on these set pieces, no doubt about that. Let's have another look at this penalty appeal. No penalty for me. Don't know what you think. I think Kuczka lost his footing, started to lose his footing, and then knew that the only option he had was to try and go down looking for a penalty, which he did. Wasn't given, of course. And Osnabrück win the ball back, but illegally. Muller not happy about that at all. But he's on a yellow card, so he won't be able to argue back with the referee anymore. Crowd appeal for another penalty, also clearly not one. A little bit too high, the cross, but nice effort and a nice idea. Back we are with Karademir and Gyamfi. Using the midfield and Amaoko. Gyamfi needs to be careful. That was Kuczka who took out Gyamfi there and then went down himself as well. And Kuczka was trying to recreate what he believed happened to him in the penalty area, and then went straight over to Yamfi and said, come on then, get up, like you told me to. It's a dangerous game to be playing. Here's Karademir. Hoofs the ball forward, and it doesn't find another purple shirt. A real game of cat and mouse, this. No goals, but by no means a dull game. Some good quality on show here as well, some good quality football. Two very well drilled teams who are both keeping their formations very well in defence and attacking with some prowess as well. Let's see what Dresden can do with this ball forward. Not a lot. That's well defended by Karademir. Throw-in goes short for Dresden. There are men outside the box, but only 3 yellow shirts in the penalty area. 4 now as the ball comes across, and a headed chance goes just wide. Good opportunity that for Kuchka. The ball was good as well. Right on the penalty spot, and he just couldn't direct that header towards goal. Kamaknecht, though, showing excellent skills from the edge of the area. A long shot attempted by Osnabrück and is blocked. Dresden come away with the ball again, and they can break if they go quickly now. But not if they're hurried into passes like that, and Meissner will be disappointed. Koller will take this throw in for Osnabrück with 7 minutes left in the first half. And Marco Antwerpen, Osnabrück's manager, will be more than satisfied with his team's first half work done, I think. They've quietened the crowd down, and they've shown Dresden that they're in a game here. But they're crowded out of the ball there, and Gyamfi, the defender, is out of position. And if Dresden can break quickly, which they can't, they would have had an overlap towards the Osnabrück penalty area. But instead they choose to build patiently, and they do so all the way from the back with Bunning and Kamaknecht. And then a ball over the top, and I think that was offside, but we'll find out. Yes, it was. That's good assistant refereeing, that. The directives these days, of course, are to keep the flag down until the end of the passage of play. But sometimes it's so obvious, this situation, that the flag should go up nice and fast and avoid any potential unnecessary injuries occurring. And that's exactly what the referee's assistant did there. Got to appreciate good refereeing. We spend a lot of time criticising referees, don't we, as football fans and football watchers? But I think it's worth praising referees as well, officials, when they do something good. Yellow card for a member of the coaching staff there. Looked like the medic as well with his blue gloves on. So another yellow card for Osnabrück. Their third of the game. This time, though, it hasn't gone to a member of the playing staff, as Johnson takes a free kick in his own half and puts it straight into touch, giving possession straight back to Dresden. Well, it's been a fascinating game so far, as I said. And I don't think I could say that either side has dominated this first 40 minutes or so. It's a little bit tetchy out there. The referee will have his work to do. Fourth official as well. Let's see what happened here. Karademir. Ooh. And I don't think there was any intent on either side there. I think that was just an unfortunate clash. Kuchka gets a yellow card. So 2 yellow cards apiece then. And I think for the referee, Kuchka had maybe just made 1 or 2 plays too many and exaggerated a bit too much. Let's have a look. That did look painful, but both players are looking at the ball. Why has Kuchka got a yellow card there? There's no way he could possibly have seen what was coming to his left, the incoming yellow shirt of Burda. I think that was just very unfortunate. Sorry, it was Bunning, not Burda. That was an unfortunate coming together. I think the referee was just beginning to get slightly fed up with Kuchka's moaning and simulation. But I think to get a yellow card for that particular challenge was at best unfortunate, unlucky. 2.5 minutes left of the first 45-minute period here, and Osnabrück trying to get that opening goal late on in the first half. Niehoff just can't keep control of the ball down that right-hand touchline, and he has been a major player, a major part of this first 45 minutes. Heisa. Looking to see what's out there. Long throw from the experienced German. And Osnabrück have to go all the way back to Karademir. And then back to Jonsson. Neither side, of course, wants to concede a goal now. It's one of those football cliches. There's no better time to score than just before half-time or just after half-time. It's also one of those football cliches that when you analyse it in terms of statistics, it doesn't in any way hold up. What can Osnabrück do here? There were some definite thoughts there from Caillou of having a long shot from outside the area, and he might have been well within his rights to do that as Dresden come away with the ball, and that's a none. That's again very, very cynical from Koller, and he'll have to get a yellow card for that, and he's got it for the exact same thing that his colleague was yellow carded for, just pulling a shirt back when you know that you've lost the ball. Koller felt that it was much less dangerous to have a free kick from there and to receive a yellow card than it would be to let Dresden continue that attack. As we approach now the final seconds of normal time in this first half, and we haven't had much injury time to be added on, I don't think. So the question is very simple. Can Dresden create something late on in this first half? Not from that they can't, but they might get. There are going to be a minimum of 2 minutes of time added on at the end of this first half, and those 2 minutes will start with a Dynamo Dresden corner. Well, what an end this would be to an intriguing first half. Sterner will take it in front of the yellow wall. Dresden attacking the home end in this first half. Osnabrück won the coin toss and put them this way around. In comes the corner, and it's punched out well by Jonsson. But now another opportunity for Heisler cross, and he does. And the ball hits the hand in the area. The referee says no. No video assistant referee, of course, at this level of football, but Dresden appealing strongly for a penalty. Offside once again for Dresden. And Osnabrück's defensive line has held up. Well, I was complimentary about the referee's assistant a few minutes ago. He made a mistake there. That was not offside. And that was not a penalty. Good play by the referee. Good decision. And we remain at 0-0 after this first 45 minutes. And that is half-time. 45 intriguing minutes. We're supposed to play a minimum of 2 minutes of time added on. The referee, though, has decided to bring things to an end of this first period of top-of-the-table Dynamo Dresden against Osnabrück. And it's 0-0 at half-time, and we have an intriguing 45 minutes ahead. Welcome back to Dresden and to the Rudolf Harrig Stadium, where we have a fascinating second half ahead of us. Because here, at home, with the best home record in the league, Dynamo Dresden, who currently top the table by 4 points, looking to return to Bundesliga 2 next season, are being held at home by Osnabrück, not one of the greatest away sides in Dritte Liga, but they have more than held their own so far in this game. What have the two managers, Stamm and Antwerpen, had to say at the break? We will never know, probably, but I imagine that Thomas Stamm will have had some fiery words for his players about increasing tempo and pace, and Antwerpen, who's on your screen now, will have been very satisfied with the way that his Osnabrück 11 set up, both tactically and in terms of performance. It's been an impressive first half from Osnabrück. They've not only managed to hold Dynamo Dresden, but they've actually, in many ways, outplayed them. 6 shots on target in the first half for the visitors, only 3 for Dresden. 7 shots in total against 5. 5 corners against Dresden's 2, and ball possession pretty even in that first half. Dresden in this second half will be attacking from left to right as you look at it, and Osnabrück, having turned Dresden around, having won the toss, are attacking the Dresden home end in this second half from right to left in their all-violet kit. I'm trying to think of other teams that play in violet, and the only one I can think of is Fiorentina in Italy. I'm sure there must be more, but certainly these two are the teams that come to mind. Match day 33, remember, of a 38-game season. And so we have 5 games going on concurrently. That's after Wehen Wiesbaden and Saarbrücken drew 1-1 yesterday. At Hansa Rostock, the home side lead Werl by 2-0. Hannover 96 are leading away at Ingolstadt. Essen are 2-1 up at home against Erzberger Aue, and Unterhaching against Stuttgart is currently 1-1. All those games are now into the second half. And here's an early chance for Osnabrück, but it was unexpected. And I don't think Koller was prepared for that chance. Let me remind you of how the sides line up at the start of this second half. No half-time substitutions. Koller caught in 2 minds there. Was this a shot or a cross, or neither? I think it was just an attempt to get something on the ball, in fact. So for the home side, Dresden, as they give away a free kick. Tim Schreiber is in goal, playing an approximate 4-4-2 formation, with Jonas Sterner, Claudio Kammerknecht, Lars Bunning and Philipp Heisser across the back. Mika Bauer, Lucas Burda, Aljaž Kazar and Dominik Kurta are in midfield, with Robin Meischner and Stefan Kuschka up front. And Kuschka has had an eventful game already. 2 penalty appeals, given away a couple of fouls and been fouled himself, and picked up a yellow card towards the end of the first half. For the visitors, with their manager in the centre of your screen right now, Marco Antwerpen, Lucas Jonassen is in goal. They have 5 across the back in Niklas Koller, Jigert Karademir, Yannick Müller, Maxwell Giamin and Niklas Niehoff. 3 in midfield, Lars Kill, Con Amaiko and Brancaio. And then their 2 up front, Marcus Müller and Brian Henning. As I say, no substitutions at half-time. And an early attacking free kick. Koller and Kehl are standing over the ball, as they have done for every free kick, actually, that Osnabrück have been given. But it's been Kehl who ended up taking it every time. Came to nothing, but a long shot afterwards, followed up from Kehl, and that also. It was Koller who took it, Kehl who took it rather, but it went straight into the wall, and the follow-up, not quite goal-bound, so won't count as a shot on target. Here come Dresden with the first attack of the game. They'll be appealing for a free kick. I suspect the referee will say no. Indeed he does. He handed out 6 yellow cards in the first half, this referee. One of which was to the medical staff of the visitors Osnabrück. So 5 players are on yellows. 3 for Osnabrück. Both Müllers and Koller. And Bürde and Kutschka are on yellow cards for Dresden. Remember, on the bench, Dynamo Dresden do have Christoph Daferner, who's leading the race for the Golden Boot in Dritte Liga at the moment. But they're coming forward with Bunning now. And Heisse on the left-hand side, back to Bunning. Kammerknecht is available, but he chooses to go further forward, and Gyamfi can just leave that, and he leaves it for Jonsson. As we always say, at this level of football, we tend to get a vast majority of players who are nationals from the country where the league is. So as expected, we have a majority of German players on the pitch this afternoon, as Osnabrück are just struggling a bit to get it clear, but Koller does brilliantly well to nutmeg from that position and just calm his team's nerves a little bit. And they're going to switch play now to the right-hand side. And they do so with Henning, who's coming forward. I beg your pardon, that's Nehoff, who is fouled. Is he on the edge of the area? No, says the referee. Another foul, also not given, and Schreiber will clear. Referee just says everybody calm down. So for Osnabrück, there are 3 non-German nationals playing. Jonsson in goal is Swedish, Karademir is Turkish, and Kayo is from the United States of America. And for the home side, Dresden, just the 2, Kammerknecht and Kazar are the only non-German nationals in the starting 11. But here come Osnabrück with a slightly laborious and slow but still well worked mosey through the defence of those yellow shirts. Osnabrück still on the ball, still in that dangerous area. Cross comes in and it goes behind, and we're going to have another corner, which I imagine Kehl will come across to take. Indeed he does. And let's see what routine Osnabrück choose to go for this time. We've seen a real variation, a real variety rather, of corner routines and dead ball routines so far. Now, I've said this already in the first half, but they're a very well-drilled side, Osnabrück. That same diagonal formation of the attackers. In the ball comes, and it reaches exactly where it was supposed to. But Bürde clears easily and well. Thomas Stamm, Dresden manager. Lots to think about for him. They will be top of the table no matter what happens at the end of match day 33. But there are teams breathing down their necks at the top of the table. It's a 4-point lead they have before today's game, but only 5 points separate the top 4. And you saw 2 substitutes there getting ready to come on. One of them, Osnabrück will not want to see at all. That is, of course, Christoph Daferner. And it looked like Tony Menzel as well. He's getting ready to make his match debut. The fans were loud, vociferous. They had everything in the first half, the home fans, but they were quietened down by the way that Osnabrück managed that first half. The yellow contingent of the supporters here will be hoping for much more cutting edge to their side's attack in the second half. They were good build-up for Dresden, but the end of all their moves just didn't quite come off somehow, as Meissner gives away a free kick. And Osnabrück, who on all the stats you can look at, have dominated this game. A real surprise. Koller and Nierhoff was over on the left-hand side for some reason. Here's Gyamfi. Tidying up, back to Jonsson, who will hoof it forward towards his 2 attackers of Kehl and Müller. And he comes back to Amaoko. No foul given. Amaoko keeps the ball. A nice no-look pass to the right-hand side. And a cross which was a little bit too heavy. From Nierhoff again. And we are going to see those first substitutions of the game. And it's going to be Dynamo Dresden who make them. And Kuchka is coming off, and he will be replaced by top scorer Christoph Daferner. And Tony Menzel is also going to come on. Kuchka off, Daferner on. And he also takes the captain's armband. And Lucas Bürder is also being replaced by Tony Menzel. Goal kick to Dresden, as their most successful attacking player is now on the pitch. There won't be a change of formation, I don't think. Like for like replacements. Menzel for Bürder. And Daferner for Kuchka. Daferner, as I've mentioned, top scorer for Dresden, also the top scorer in the league this season with 17 goals. And Daferner actually leads Sebastian Gröning by a single goal. He has 16, Sebastian Gröning. Involved today at Ingolstadt. And a dramatic fall from Müller. The referee gave his first yellow card in the game pretty early on, which of course left him very little space or room for manoeuvre later on in the game. So he did hand out 5 yellow cards to players. The first 2 were before 20 minutes. And there was a bit of needle, let's say, in that first half as Dresden come forward again. And that is a foul on the edge of the area, no doubt about that. Gamfi is going to receive a yellow card as well. And sometimes players have to make those decisions. As we saw in the first half a couple of times as well. Yeah, the danger is much less if you pull someone down and receive a yellow card in that position than if you allow him to run across the top of the box. First free kick from a really dangerous area in the match for Dresden. Can they do anything with it? Jonsson organises his walk. For those of you who watched Arsenal against Real Madrid in the Champions League midweek, I imagine Dynamo Dresden fans would love Declan Rice to be on the pitch right now. 2 of the best free kicks you'll ever see in that 3-0 victory over the Spanish European champions. And that comes in from Heise, left-footed, straight at Jonsson, but at some pace. And Jonsson has to bat it away for an attacking throw-in. Cross attempted by Dresden and Sterner, but nothing came of it. First substitution for Osnabrück is going to see Muller come off. Other than getting that yellow card, didn't do an awful lot. And it's Joel Swartz who will take over. Jonsson. And Osnabrück playing a very risky game in their own area, in the way that they are coming in and out. Their defence has been pretty impregnable in that first half. There we're seeing a replay of Heise's left-footed free kick. It did go straight at Jonsson. Not quite sure why he didn't catch it. But at least he kept it safe anyway. Swartz, who's come on to replace Muller, has scored 4 goals this season. Dutch player, so another non-national on the pitch now. And Swartz, despite being a striker, actually isn't the top scorer for Osnabrück this season. That's Lars Kell, who we've seen taking all the set pieces. But they've had nobody who's really gone stratospheric in terms of goals scored. Only 6 for Curl. When you consider that Daferner, who's now on the pitch for Dresden, has scored 17, you might think that that could be an area where Osnabrück will look to strengthen in the summer. Thomas Stamm is going to make some more changes. He's got to try to shake this up. There's not a lot riding on this for Osnabrück, other than pride, of course, and the extra revenue that comes in from a higher league position come the end of the season. But they're not really in a place to push for promotion, and they're certainly not going to be relegated. So we have that slightly strange situation towards the end of campaigns, don't we, where where teams know where they're going to be next season and not a lot is going to change. And that's where Osnabrück find themselves right now, because they are very definitely mid-table, or lower mid-table, let's say, in 15th place, but they're clear of the relegation zone for the moment. They could be dragged back into it. 2 points clear of Stuttgart, who are currently in 17th. And 3 of the bottom 4 are playing today. Stuttgart, Sandhausen, Hanover and Unterhaching. Dresden failing again to make anything of that attacking move. Osnabrück have been super proficient at snuffing out any dangerous attacks that look to be on their way. And they'll be hoping to continue that too. Bauer is off, having had a pretty good first half. And he's being replaced by Niklas Hauptmann. Hauptmann has played in 31 of the 32 games that Dresden have played this season, now 32 of 33. And he's made the most starts, other than Tim Schreiber in goal, who's played every game. Push in the back? No, says the referee. Certainly looked like a push in the back to me. Free kick was given to Osnabrück. And Jonsson will take it from inside his own area. Pumps it forward towards those violet shirts that are just waiting for a drop down. But the ball goes the way of Dynamo Dresden. And the crowd appeal for a foul, and they're going to get it, I think. And it's going to be another yellow card. This one goes to Karademir. And 4 out of 5 of the back line for Osnabrück have now been booked. Just Niehoff is left to complete that full house. Heiser is on over the ball again here. Dresden players watching out for the offside. That's not a great free kick though. It was lobbed in. Heiser didn't take it in the end. It was Sterner. And he battles well. And the ball fell eventually to Kutter, but he couldn't do much with it other than win a corner, which Sterner has come across to take. And the yellow wall behind the goal starts to ramp up the noise. It's taken short. Heiser with a left-footed cross. That's a nice move, cleverly worked. So Heiser can get on his left foot, and a handball given against Henning just outside the area. Now this is a dangerous position. Lots more goals in the other games in the league. Unfortunate for Henning there. Hansa Rostock currently 4-0 up at home against VfL. And Rostock will move up to 5th place with a victory there. Hannover 96 also winning away at Ingolstadt, as are Essen at home against Erzberger Aue. Unterhaching against Stuttgart is currently 1-1. Referee blows his whistle. Sterner with the free kick. And it's headed away very well indeed, firmly by this Osnabrück defence. To give away another corner. And the pressure is mounting on Osnabrück. Osnabrück's last 5 matches, 3 of them at home, 2 away, and they have a relatively favourable run into the end of the season. In comes the corner. Jonsson got it away. Daffner's looking forward in the middle, can't get it. And Osnabrück looking to steal the ball on the break. Here's Kell. Heise having to come forward and meet that slightly short pass. He goes back to Schreiber. 20 minutes for one of these sides to grab a victory. Dresden looking to win the league. Osnabrück looking to avoid relegation. And this afternoon, their difference in league position has not been evident at all. The Dresden crowd not happy at all with Gyamfi here. He was certainly all over Kotta. Marco Antwerpen just trying to make his feelings and thoughts known. He's going to make another 2 substitutions as well. We're going to see Kell come off. So top scorer for Osnabrück is off, their dead ball specialist rather. Knasse is on. And I think they were getting ready for another substitution as well, which we'll bring you in just a second when it happens. Marco Antwerpen is making changes. Dresden regain possession in the middle of the park. This is good play from Dresden, and the shot comes in. It's a shot on target, but it's not a good one. Kazar it was who had it. This was sharp from Dresden. The shot just too close to the keeper though from Kazar. After a very good 1-2 with Meissner. It was Niehoff who came off, in fact, and Manu is on. Also for Osnabrück, of course. So three substitutions for Osnabrück, 2 so far for Dresden, and the referee blows his whistle and asks for the free kick to be retaken. Knasse, the substitute, is going to take it. I don't think those Dresden players are 10 yards away, 10 metres away. But the referee looks happy enough. 30,351 people here at the Rudolf Harrig Stadion. What an amazing fact that is for third-tier professional football in Germany. Kudos to the DFB and to the way that Germany organises its football. Here comes Knasse. Manu. Nice interchange with the other substitute for Osnabrück. And it's a defensive throw-in. Dresden regain possession. Philipp Heise asking his teammates to go long as the chant of Dynamo starts once again. Kept in on the left-hand side by Dresden, who look to come forward now on the right. They're going to switch play and do so well. Sterner is on the overlap. He's not needed. Here are Dresden inside the area, and there's almost the first goal, the opening goal for the league leaders. Wouldn't quite come. Kutter. The ball fell for him, but not quite nicely enough. It was a super quick break, though. Sterner could have had a go himself there. Kotter's first touch slightly let him down, trying to tee himself up to have that volleyed attempt. And it very nearly worked. Another shot on the Dresden notch board, but not one on target. Two more substitutions Thomas Stamm is going to make for this last 15 minutes of this game. 15 minutes left then. It's already been a really good contest, despite the difference in league positions. Kutter and Meissner are off for the home side. Kutter with that last shot just now. Meissner replaced by Lemmer. And Kutter has been replaced by Jonas Orniken. So 4 subs made by Thomas Stamm for the home side, 3 for Osnabrück. In last night's game, which ended 1-1 between Wehen Wiesbaden and FC Saarbrücken, Saarbrücken made 5 substitutions and then had a player injured. So they actually finished the game, the last 10 minutes or so, with 10 men. I imagine Thomas Stamm will not make that same mistake. He'll make sure that there's still one substitution left to be made if necessary. Another player slips for Osnabrück and lets the ball run through for Dresden. Second half has been dominated by Dynamo Dresden. Having said that, it's Osnabrück who've had the shot on target. But Dresden definitely on top. Can they make it count? They're just not getting their danger players in the right areas to have any shots that would show up really well on the XG graphic. And of course Osnabrück can always break. Cross in. Looking for the substitute Nasser. It wasn't too far away. Two more substitutions going to be made by Osnabrück, and that will be their 5. Amarko is coming off. Koller is also being replaced by Weimann. Moko replaced by Tesha. You get the feeling of frustration here in the stadium, and also a little bit from the players' attitude on the pitch as well. The Dresden players, managed by that man, Thomas Stamm, are starting to run out of ideas about how to get through this Osnabrück defence, which has been well organised and hasn't let much go, to be honest. Even the top scorers in the league, top of the table, high flyers Dynamo Dresden, haven't managed to create too many really dangerous or telling opportunities. Heise tidying up. Kammerknecht, sorry. Schreiber in the Dynamo goal. And he looks to pump the ball down centre field, which he does. That's Heise ready to take this attacking throw-in. Referee just making sure he takes it from the right position, though. Dresden lose the ball, although they regain it fortuitously. Give it away again, and Osnabrück look to break, but there's only one man upfield. That's a neat little turn from Karademir. Karademir is out now, and the ball comes down the left-hand side. And Osnabrück win another corner, much to the chagrin of Kammerknecht. He was not at all convinced that that was the correct decision. But Weimann, the substitute, wins that corner. No Kell, of course, so Gnasser will now take over the dead ball duties as the Dresden fans bounce behind the goal. Right-footed in-swinging corner. It's coming close to the goal, to the far post. It's overhit though. Miles overhit actually. No way that Weissman could get to that. And Gnasser's first corner comes to naught. Ball's anyone's in midfield. Free kick given to Osnabrück. And again, the home fans not happy about that. Thomas Stamm has had a lot to say this game about some of the refereeing decisions. This time the free kick goes Dresden's way, and Gnasser is having a difficult introduction to this game. Still the away side, Osnabrück, with the more shots on target, 6 altogether. Possession has been very, very even. But in terms of attacking opportunities, Osnabrück have had the bulk. In the second half, Dresden have dominated the game, but haven't been able to create anything. And this time they give away a free kick. It's Tesha, the substitute, who goes down. And we have 7 minutes left of normal time. With things as they stand, in all the 5 games that are going on today. Dresden will stay top and move on to 61 points if they get a draw here. Rostock and Ingolstadt, who are also playing at the moment. They'll be 5th and 6th, Verl and Essen 8th and 9th. And I'm afraid for the bottom 2, Hanover and Unterhaching, things don't get any easier. They will remain rooted to the bottom of the table, and things look very, very difficult indeed for them. Unterhaching especially are marooned at the bottom of the table on 22 points. They're certainly going down. Hanover and Sandhausen in 19th and 18th respectively are pretty close. And then we have Mannheim, who are 6 points ahead of 3rd from bottom and only 2 points behind 14th, 15th and 16th, which is Dortmund, Osnabrück and Stuttgart on 40 points. So the battle against relegation is very much on. The battle for the title is very much on too, with Bielefeld playing tomorrow and Saarbrücken having played last night. But Dresden have a chance to open the scoring. They can't take it. And there was some frustration on the right-hand side of the area. As Urkman chose to go himself, and for sure it looked like Dafona might have been in a better position. Corner to Dresden then, in it comes. Heiser was in there, got his head on it, but could only put it over the top. 4.5 minutes left. Dresden huge favourites coming into this game. And Osnabrück have not played like this all season, otherwise they would not be in the perilous position they are. Which will be frustrating for Marco Antwerpen and for their fans. But they should take confidence from this performance. As I said to you, they have a relatively favourable run-in as Dresden switched play to the right-hand side. Now Kazar. Kazar infield. To Bauer. Back to Kazar, who's going to get the cross in. That is a really dreadful attempt at putting the ball into a dangerous area. Jonsson falls on it. And Osnabrück certainly know they've been in a difficult game and under the cosh in this second half. They will be more than happy, I think, to go away from Dresden with a point. Some of Marco Antwerpen's staff pretty irate at something. I'm not sure what it's for. Thomas Stamm actually went on the pitch then. Stamm also a very frustrated figure. Osnabrück with a late attack down the right-hand side with the substitute on Nasser. And a chance and a goal. The away side have taken the lead in the dying minutes. And you have to say, it's not undeserved. This has been a very, very close-fought match, and Osnabrück have more than held their own. They've been really, really under pressure in this second half. But there was always the chance that a quick break might happen and might lead to something like that, which is exactly how it panned out. It is 1-0 to Osnabrück, and Dresden's quest for the title is going through something of a hiccup. Good goal from the replacement left-back, Wehrmann. Now, what has Thomas Stamm got up his sleeve? It's Wehrmann's third goal of the campaign. And that's a very, very important one in the context of avoiding relegation. Because should they take 3 points away from this game, things will look very different indeed for them. But there is a late chance for Philipp Heisse to come to Dynamo's rescue, as he has done many times before. Marco Antwerpen now gets a yellow card as well. It's 2 yellow cards for staff members from Osnabrück. Antwerpen furious about that. Heisse is going to try and curl this left-footed to the goalkeeper's right, I would suggest. Got the draft excluder behind a 5-man wall for Osnabrück. Trying to maintain this lead. Heisse not far away. But over the bar. The direction was perfect, just the height. Difficult to bring the ball down from that distance when there's a 5-man wall. And we're into time added on. We're going to have a minimum of 4 minutes of additional time at the end of this match. Osnabrück will do everything they can to hold on to this lead. And the referee blows his whistle. And that is going to be a foul. Not sure for which of those infringements. All today's 2 o'clock kickoffs are now into time added on, with Hansa Rostock 4-0 up at home against VfL. Ingolstadt 2-3 down as Dresden almost have a clear shot on goal from very close in. They just can't manage to get it. So Ingolstadt 3-2 down at home against Hanover. Essen have also scored 4-2 up at home against Erzberger Aue. And Unterhaching against Stuttgart is 2-2 in time added on, as the ball doesn't fall kindly again for Dresden in the area. 2 minutes left for Osnabrück to hold on for a significant victory. Kicking off in just over half an hour from now, Alemannia Aachen against Sandhausen. And then we have our 3 Sunday games as well, of course. Dresden, 2 minutes left for them to try and find a way of getting at least a point out of this game. But they haven't really looked like scoring, you have to say that. Dafferner only came onto the pitch late in this second half. And now Osnabrück with the goal scorer Wehrmann. Down the left-hand side, and it's fallen, or almost fell, very kindly indeed for Osnabrück, who would have been man-on-man with the keeper and away. Instead, Schreiber can clear. Referee gets in the way, and he'll have a drop ball there. And Osnabrück will be more than happy with that, as the seconds tick by. 1 minute left and maybe one more big chance to create for Dresden. Can the league leaders find a way back from a losing position in this game against Osnabrück? Huge favourites before the game, the best home record in the league. 3 wins out of 5. But they are losing today, and they may just have one last opportunity. No, they don't. The referee says, I'm not playing 4 minutes of time added on. I'm stopping it short again, like I did in the first half. And Marco Antwerpen has masterminded a shock victory for lowly Osnabrück against league leaders and top of the table Dynamo Dresden. One single goal in the second half from substitute Weimann, who's being hugged on your screen right now, and you can see what it means to these Osnabrück players. They have 5 matches left to save their status in Dritte Liga, and they've started their run-in today with a phenomenal victory. A well thought out, well planned and well executed 90 minutes of football has seen the league leaders lose at home to Osnabrück. It's finished. Dynamo Dresden 0, VfL Osnabrück 1.